I'm Bryan Dean from the Oklahoma, and I'm here today with Mayor Mick Cornett, and we are going to be talking about the U.S. Conference of Mayors, which is coming to Oklahoma City June 11th through 15th. And being that you are a mayor, I'll let you kind of describe what goes on at this conference. It's held every year, and this is the first time it's going to be here.
That's right. Well, it's a full-bore conference during the day. During the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, and into the 15th, we'll be discussing policies that affect cities across the country. A lot of times we're talking about legislation that Washington is considering and learning how it might affect cities down the line. When you're in charge of city government, you learn quickly that you only work in the enabling legislation that's handed down by your state and by the federal government. And so how the federal government acts reflects directly upon cities, and the mayors are very interested in getting together and talking about how we're going to be affected.
Tell me a little bit about why this is a big deal. I know this at the time we got this conference, it was a very big deal. And what could this mean for Oklahoma City?
Well, first of all, it brings in a couple hundred mayors into the city, and many of these mayors are from the East and West Coast, and a lot of them have never been to Oklahoma City. So it's nice to bring in policymakers into Oklahoma City. But it's not just them. They will bring in their families and their staffs typically, and there'll also be a large amount of people coming here from private business. A number of companies market to municipalities across the country, and so the best way for them to get in front of mayors or chief decision makers is to be at this conference. And so overall we'll have 1,000 people or more in Oklahoma City, and these are people that largely travel on the East and West Coast. I mean, the very bulk of these people have not been to Oklahoma City very much, if at all, and I've heard that over and over again over the last 3 years when I talk and talk about them coming to this event.
And this conference is often held in a place like Miami, for example. I mean,
yeah, it is.
What does it mean just to get on that list? I mean, I think you once described this as a tier below, like the Democratic or Republican National Convention.
I would think so. I mean, those are obviously the largest political events you could secure. But since I've been mayor, this event has been held in Boston, Chicago, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Miami, and last year in Providence, Rhode Island. So getting in that list of cities is very special to us. And in a lot of those big cities, sometimes our event gets kind of lost. But I have a feeling that we're going to make quite an impact on Oklahoma City. It'll fill up the hotels downtown, and there'll be some national attention placed on Oklahoma City that's positive. Now,
it's not all business. The thing that really caught my eye on the agenda, not being a mayor, was the concert that you're going to have with the Flaming Lips and the Oklahoma City Philharmonic. Made me kind of jealous, made me wish I was a mayor.
Well, we raised a lot of money from the private sector to help put on these events, and raised a lot of money nationally from national companies that want to support the Mayor's Association. And that allows us to do some events in the evening outside of the conference that takes place during the day. Our goal in entertaining the mayors was to try and give them a taste of what they expected, so we're having a little bit of a Western flavor, but we also wanted to give them some things that they did not expect, and I can't think of anything more that fits that category than having the Flaming Lips perform with the Philharmonic. Even I don't know what to expect, so I'm sure they don't.
I know it looked interesting to me. I can only imagine those two getting together seems like a match made in heaven. So
it does. It'll be
sounds
creative.
Like a lot of fun. What are you hoping? I mean, if people come away with something from this, folks from California, from the coast, for example, come away from this. What do you hope they take about Oklahoma City from this conference?
Well, that things are happening. The vitality of this city will be seen immediately when they see those 4 cranes that are hoisting the Devon Tower. That's going to be something that their city probably does not have. Most cities around the country, especially the large cities, are just hanging on right now. They're having to lay off hundreds of employees, many of them having to lay off public safety people and making some really difficult choices. We're not in nearly that type of situation. The type of choices that we're talking about, the type of service reductions we're talking about are minuscule compared to the bulk of the other cities around. So they're going to feel the vitality of the city. They're going to see the myriad botanical gardens under construction. They're going to see I-40 being relocated. They're going to see the Devon Tower start to go up, and they're going to see Bricktown alive, which it is on almost any summer evening, especially on the weekends. So I think they're going to go back and say, man, that is quite a place.
Well, keep tuned on that. We will have much more coverage of the U.S. Mayors Conference, both in the Oklahoma and on News OK.